The city of Scranton now has 2 mobile intensive care units. Are they both needed? Well, that's the question being raised tonight since both MICUs are based in the same neighborhood. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini is live in downtown Scranton. Bob, can you explain the controversy?
Karen, yes. We're at the Scranton City Firehouse on Wyoming Avenue, where a new $50,000 mobile intensive care unit is being kept. It's a donation to the city, but will eventually be based at Mercy Hospital and will be dispatched by the Lackawanna County Call Board. There's already an MICU, as they're called, mobile intensive care unit, based at CMC Hospital, less than a mile away from Mercy Hospital. That brings up a couple important questions. Does Lackawanna County need another MICU? And if so, should they both be based so closely together? Officials at CMC tell us their unit goes out just an average of 6 times a day, but the people at Mercy Hospital say this unit can serve many, many life-saving functions and is needed here in the city and the county. But no matter what, basing the 2 MICUs so closely together means that if you live in West Scranton, as an example, the response time, if an MICU is needed, will be no different. If you live in the far west side, it'll be about 10 minutes. So that is part of the controversy. Bob Costantini, live with the Instacam in Scranton. Karen?
Okay, thank you, Bob. Slot machines mean huge profits, but for some people, the compulsive gambler, the slots also mean huge problems. In the final part of his series, The Slot Machine Gamble, Does It Pay Off?, Dan Fiorucci tells us about the people who make big money and those who fork over a fortune for a thrill.
Of course, the only people who get easy money from gambling are the ones who run the establishments. And what money it is. In Atlantic City alone, gross revenues for the casinos in the first 8 months of this year topped $1 billion. And tiny little southern Maryland had a $50 million a year slot machine industry. That was back in the 50s. If resort owners in the Poconos are permitted to get slots, they'll earn $128 million annually, $12 million of which they'll fork over to the state. Slots will also generate an estimated $33 million in new sales and state income taxes each year. But aside from the monetary issues, there are moral ones. Wherever gambling goes, whether it be at Pocono Downs or Atlantic City, it provides pleasure for many. But it also feeds on the self-destructive tendencies of a few, the compulsive gamblers. Since gambling was legalized in Atlantic City and Las Vegas, membership in Gamblers Anonymous has doubled in each city. Slot machines do seem to be a more genteel form of gambling than the hardcore casino type, but still in Maryland, there were those who blew entire paychecks in one-armed bandits. To Maryland historian Susan Schaefer, the lesson is clear. Any society that depends increasingly on gambling to fund its government must be prepared to accept the consequences.
There is a social price that goes with legal gambling.
That price is people will gamble away everything that they have.
That's right. To some people, gambling is poison.
This, of course, is not to say that everyone will become a compulsive gambler if slots are allowed in the Poconos, but scientific studies of Las Vegas and of Atlantic City do indicate, Karen, that up to 2% of the population can be lured into compulsive behavior by the presence of legal gambling.
Well, Dan, is there anything in the Pennsylvania slot machine proposal that would protect people from becoming compulsive gamblers?
There is no provision for therapy money for the compulsive gamblers because lawmakers feel that slot machines are relatively innocuous. Tonight at 7:30, after this broadcast, ABC News will have a special on compulsive gambling.
Okay, thank you very much, Dan. It was a good series. And Newswatch 16 continues with meteorologist Tom Clark and a frosty night in store. Plus, later on, Mike Stevens returns to the Pennsylvania Road.
I'm Mike Stevens on the Pennsylvania Road for Newswatch 16, and I meet a lot of interesting people. A maker of some interesting gadgets, a very special group of bell ringers, a builder of some very fine furniture, competitors in a rather unusual contest. Those are just some of the folks I've met so far. I hope you'll join me for a visit with some others on the Pennsylvania Road on Newswatch 16.
Well, I, for one, will be getting my winter clothes out of the mothballs this weekend, and I think I'm going to need them, right, Tom?
Especially tonight, Karen. It is getting quite cold outside. As a matter of fact, in the past couple of hours, I've had reports of some rain and some snow. mixed together over the mountains of north-central Pennsylvania. And I even got a call from the back mountain area around Dallas in Luzerne County of a little bit of rain and wet snow mixed in. It's that cold in the atmosphere tonight. Let me show you the temperature outside in this backyard. It's dropping rather nicely down to 49 degrees now. And the humidity is about, make that about 62%. Temperature 48, winds west at 5, barometer on the rise. Way up there, though, 30.34 inches. High today here was 60, the low 42, records 91 and 33 way back in 1904. And that's what the foliage looks like today over the Pocono Mountains. Now, Newswatch 16's color satellite photograph shows a clear, cool, stable atmosphere over a good portion of the country. And this air is moving towards Pennsylvania to beautify this first weekend of autumn. But a lot of flooding rain out in the far west in Utah and Arizona. Prescott, Arizona has had 10 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. So a lot of heavy weather out that way, but that's far from us. We won't get any rain here before probably the middle of next week, as I see it now, because of this huge chunk of cool Canadian air that broke temperatures in more than 50 cities last night. And a lot of record lows will fall again tonight. Now, here's our forecast for the balance of this night. A few clouds overhead still in the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area, but I expect they'll be breaking up very soon. A lot of moonlight for the balance of this night, a lot of that harvest moonlight left over, and frost forming in many areas by dawn tomorrow. That's because the winds will go down to just about calm by dawn. 28 Forest City, 27 in Mount Pocono tonight, and down in the small hamlet of Seek, just outside of Tamaqua, in Schuylkill County, ye shall find a morning low temperature of about 31 degrees. 36 in Sunbury, and out in Red Rock, 26 cold degrees with lots of frost out that way at about 7 o'clock tomorrow. Now on your Saturday, sunshine and really fine. Believe me, it's going to be beautiful. 60 in Clark's Green, 64 in East Berwick, about 60 in Mahanoy City. Out in Cogan Station, north of Williamsport, 62, a west wind in the afternoon, no more than about 10 miles per hour. Ditto on Sunday. Lots of sunshine. Look at that, 67 degrees, getting a bit warmer. And then on Monday, a little cloudy and into the 70s by Tuesday. But it will be a beautiful weekend. Get outside and enjoy it. I recommend nothing more than a light jacket or a sweater if you're heading outside tomorrow. But Karen, perfect sailing weather tomorrow for that America's Cup yacht race off Rhode Island.
Yes, if they don't get any wet snow like they did in the back mountain. Boy, that's hard to believe.
Isn't that something?
Ooh, too early for that.
A bit, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tom. When we come back, it's Joe Zone's and Tim Karlson's turn as they bring you all the high school football highlights and scores you want to see on 16 Sports Final next.
16 Sports Final, Friday on Newswatch 16 Update.
Well, quite a night, huh? How about that Mount Carmel-Coughlin game?
Boy, I'll tell you, that was some kind of ball game tonight, Joseph. It was a tough one.
Super 16 game of the week, number 2 ranked. Coughlin at 13th ranked Mount Carmel. I'll tell you, it was as great a football game as we thought it was. In fact, the highlights just now being put together. We've got an interview with the coaches. Late game out there. Let me tell you the final score at least. Mount Carmel 20, Coughlin 14. We're working on that. We'll have highlights of it later on in the back part of our expanded football coverage show tonight. So hang in there with us. Okay, let's check the scoreboard and see what in fact we do have. Eastern Conference tonight. Number 5, Pottsville beat Tamaqua 14-8. Number 9, Shikellamy knocked off and shut out by Williamsport. Pine Grove over Schuylkill Haven 18-12. Hazelton beat Shamokin 27-13. What a great night for Dan Lispet of Minersville. He goes over 3,000 career yards, 250 tonight. Minersville beat Nativity BVM 53-14. Selinsgrove shut out Milton 21-0. Okay, Tim, Wyoming Valley Conference tonight, our 7th-ranked team, Wyoming area.
And, Joe, I'll tell you the truth, it's been a tough early start for Lake Lehman, and against an undefeated Wyoming area team, things weren't much better tonight as we take a look at the highlights from the game. With the score 28-0 in the third quarter, Lake Lehman in the white recovers a fumble coming up by the Wyoming area Warriors, and that sets up their only touchdown. There's the fumble recovery. Wyoming area's running attack, too tough for the Black Knights tonight. Keith Orlandini breaks this run for 27 yards in the third quarter. Look at him go there. But the big story for the Warriors was running back Eric Spies as usual. Here he rushes for 12 of his 130 yards and only 10 carries. Spies ended the night scoring 3 touchdowns as Wyoming area goes on to win 30-7. We check the board right now. Wyoming Valley Conference, Wyoming Valley West over GAR 26-7. Myers over Tunkhannock. We go to the northern tier now. Number 15, Towanda over Sayre, 34-14. How about Troy blowing out Wellsboro, 54-0. Other high school football scores, State College over Lock Haven, and Bald Eagle Nittany beat Jersey Shore 20-16. Well, in the Big 11 tonight, a couple of our ranked teams in action, Joe.
That's right. But first, another city rivalry at Scranton Memorial Stadium between Central and West. And these guys played tough tonight. All defense. It's 9-2 West. They're trying to put it away now. A pass down to Central's 3-yard line. Looks like they're going to put one in. Watch it now. Wide open, right side of your screen in the end zone. But it is dropped, overthrown, whatever, no good. West then tries to get up a field goal. They miss, but they do hold on to win tonight. The final 9-2. Elsewhere in the Big 11, number 12, Scranton Prep over Old Forge, 28-6, and number 10, Valley View over Riverside, 21-0. Now, kind of a special night at Riverside as they rename the stadium in pregame ceremonies for the new Riverside Veterans Memorial Stadium. Okay, we got a problem with that one, so what we'll do is we'll go to the Suburban Conference scoreboard and check it out. Number 14th ranked Honesdale beat Carbondale 41-7. Elsewhere in the West Branch, Mifflinburg beat South Williamsport 27-6. West Branch, Montoursville over Hughesville. Lewisburg beat Loyal Sock, and Warrior Run over Muncie 43-13. Top-ranked, undefeated Berwick against Danville tonight, and they showed us why.
Yeah, the Bulldogs just blew them away again, Joe, as a matter of fact. They just did the job on top-ranked, the top-ranked Bulldogs did the job tonight, and it was 41-0, the final score in that ball game. Let's check the scoreboard right now and see what has happened otherwise in the Eastern Conference. Blue Mountain over Northern Schuylkill 14-0. Southern Columbia over Freeland 32-7. Shenandoah Valley taking care of St. Clair 42-8. There's Juniata doing the job on Upper Dauphin 43-6. It was Chief Logan over Bald Eagle Area 9-7. And Williams Valley over Lebanon Catholic 22-6. Out in Northwest tonight, or out in Bloomsburg tonight, it was Northwest taking on the Panthers. How about it?
Couple of title contenders there. Bloomsburg earlier this season, in fact, ranked in the Super 16. Second quarter action, Northwest up 6-0. Here's back J.R. Speary of Bloomsburg with a fine run down to the Northwest 30-yard line. Look at all the moves inside. 2 plays later, number 22, watch him, John Jones. He'll go 25 yards for a touchdown. Point after is good, and that makes it 7-6 Bloomsburg. After the kickoff, Northwest takes over only to have their first play foiled as number 39, Scott Bennett, intercepts this pass, and then he takes it deep into Northwest territory. A couple of plays later, it looks like another touchdown from Bloomsburg. Watch J.R. Sperry coming up. He goes in, but the play is called back due to an illegal low block right there. Look at that. He takes his feet out. Can't do that in high school. 33-12, the final. Bloomsburg wins it. Centennial League scoreboard. Northern Lehigh won tonight. Pleasant Valley over Notre Dame. Stroudsburg beat Lehighton. East Stroudsburg 16, Palmer to nothing. And the Colonial League Bangor beat Nazareth 19-0. Still waiting to get that package in on Coughlin and Mount Carmel. We're working heavily tomorrow. Let's just mention the Big 11 game between Lakeland and Dunmore, both undefeated. Also tomorrow, 16th ranked Pittsburgh plays at Maryland. Penn State will be at Temple. What do you think about Penn State's first chances tomorrow to win?
I'll tell you, Temple always gives them a tough time, even when they've had good ball clubs. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Temple beats them. Okay, we've got the highlights coming in. Scott, you want to bring in the script on that one? Let's go. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's roll right off the top now. Mount Carmel and Coughlin tonight. Here we go. Early in the game, sloppy first quarter. Frank Bolek of Mount Carmel, John Tomchuk intercepted at the 1-yard line, stopping that drive. But Mount Carmel drives, and then watch Wincheck here, a 3-yard run at 7-17 the second, 7-0 Mount Carmel. Second half. Coughlin's number 43, Paul Cole, goes 8 times, 45 yards. There's Mark Ann Sweeney coming up, 10-yard run for a touchdown. Mount Carmel again now. Touchdown. That makes it 14-7, Mount Carmel. Okay, Mount Carmel driving again. Look at this long touchdown pass to Mike Diminick, 49 yards, and that makes it 20-14. Mount Carmel wins the football game. After the game, we talked to the coaches.
certainly was. It was a fantastic game. Both teams played a super job. It was more a defensive game the first half. The second half, they just did a hell of a job. A great job, both teams.
Well, what were you thinking when the two-point conversion didn't make and you went for the single? Were you going for the tie?
Well, there we figured we'd have a chance for a field goal later on. We have good kickers, you know. But we figured a little 7 yards was tough. We thought we'd go for the one and tie and hope to come back for a field goal maybe.
Okay, so there it was. It was late. It just got in a late game out there. 20-14, the final score, and that was the happy coach, Mr. Diminick, tonight, as Mount Carmel knocks off number 2 Coughlin.
And another one of his young sons makes a big play in the ball game, scores a TD. He's got to be happy about that too.
Okay, at the track tonight, 2-1. $56.80, fifth race, triple 1, 2, and 6, $137.10. Fish forecast, why not? Because tomorrow is National Hunting and Fishing Day. The best times to go very early at 4:15 a.m. and at 3:45 in the afternoon. Again, the top story, Mount Carmel 20, Coughlin 14, big football game, and a lot for Mount Carmel because it counted in the Eastern Conference standings. Did not count for Coughlin, but they're going to feel it. They were our number 2 team. They were knocked off, and a great football game. Coughlin got behind, came back, tied it, took the lead, but Mount Carmel in the end did it at their place, and that's a big game.
Bragging rights in the Eastern Conference, huh?
For a while, anyway. Check those standings, Mount Carmel fans.
Although
on Monday.
Berwick would probably have a lot to say about that, I guess, right?
On Monday, check the new Super 16. You're probably going to like it. Okay, that's all from here. Let's take it to the news, guys. Whatever's left, folks.
Finally tonight, our man on the Pennsylvania Road, Mike Stevens, has a story from Center County. It's a story of a man who will never let a setback hold him down.
Now here's a nice piece of work. A solid walnut table and chair set. Something you'd be proud to use for your family's Sunday dinner. Ron Ream made it in the workshop out back.
Back in 1976, Ron was in the woods near his home.
I was hunting turkeys and got shot for a turkey.
The shotgun blasts, which ripped into him that autumn day 7 years ago, took Ron's eyesight. He is blind. He uses power tools that can rip flesh as easily as they rip lumber.
You got to treat it like, you know, that it's dangerous and stuff, but you can't be afraid of it. So you just, you know, your limitations with it and stuff, and that's how I became to use it, and I didn't have no trouble so far with it.
He occasionally needs help. Occasionally.
It's just a shade, huh? Yeah, I'd sand it would probably take it off. Okay. Yeah, maybe if you knock that outside edge off, you won't notice it. But there are some things that you can't do that it perturbs you a little bit, because when it comes to cutting on the bandsaw, a line you have to follow. You just can't do it that.
But Ron can do a lot of things. The powerful tools he uses have frightened away a lot of people who have sight. The end product of his labors are pieces of furniture, good furniture. Ron Ream has made the best of a bad situation.
I'll tell you, the big thing, you got good family and friends and stuff, and they all help out, so that's the main thing. Makes it a lot easier.
Some folks just never give up in life. I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16 on the Pennsylvania Road in Aaronsburg.
And that's our report for tonight. Nightline is next with a report on the neo-Nazi movement in our country. For the Update team, thanks for being with us. Have a good night and enjoy your weekend.